G'day everyone and welcome to 707 Operations Tour, the Riverlander, where we're going to go from Melbourne to the regional New South Wales city of Tocumwal. It's now about 10 PM and we're about to jump on board and head through the night up to the regional city. So let's go get on board and I'll tell you all about it. So this trip was set to leave Southern Cross Railway Station in the heart of Melbourne just after 10 PM and would travel through the night, set to arrive in Shepparton at around 3:30 in the morning. And it was led by vintage streamliner A66 in its excellent V-line orange and grey livery. For this trip, I would be travelling in the former Southern Auroran car, LAN 2354. So we got underway pulling out of Spencer Street at 10 past 10 and it was full send north. We did have a brief stopover at Seymour, where we did get a chance to get out and take a look around the station, which was something different as I'm not normally there at night time. So I'm going to be honest, after a full day of work I was ready to go straight to bed and prepare for a big weekend. The carriages on this train are made up of sleeping cars and parlour cars from a range of different name trains like the Southern Aurora and the Overland. For this trip I was in one of the former Southern Aurora cars built in the 1960s. So here's a little bit about the carriage. They were constructed as a part of a fleet of 34 stainless steel carriages built for the train by the Commonwealth Engineering Workshops in Granville, New South Wales. Then in 1987, with the withdrawal of the Southern Aurora, these carriages were refurbished in Victoria for use on the Sydney to Melbourne Express until withdrawn from service in 1994, where the XPT services replaced all trains between Melbourne and Sydney. These carriages were returned to their former glory by 707 operations volunteers in partnership with Transport Heritage New South Wales. Each land carriage originally included 20 uniquely designed single-berth sleepers, compartments that are located on either side of a zigzag-shaped aisle, with beds that fold down, running parallel to the carriage, with shower and bathroom facilities. So the premium single cabin featured a comfortable reclining chair that converts into a single bed, a mirror and vanity. It includes all your linen, towels and amenities, and they are fully air conditioned. They also have a 240 volt power outlet in them, which makes it handy for charging your devices. However, I did bring an extension cord along with me, as I do know that they were a little bit high for, I guess, modern electronic devices. There is also shelving. The room comes with complimentary drinking water, as well as snacks, and all the other little amenities. The next morning, we awoke in Shepparton Railway Yard. So after a quick shower, it was down to the Club Car 708 for breakfast, which included a selection of eggs, sausages, cereals, croissants, and the all-important coffee. And then it was out into the town. I ventured around Shepparton in the rain, checking out the moving art, the lake, and the interesting railway remnants, like the former SPC sidings and railway yard. From 11 AM, lunch was served at the Terminus Hotel, which was sweet relief after being caught in the rain. Then it was off on the buses for the silo art. The silo trip would take most of the afternoon, heading out of Shepparton for a 45-minute or so ride to the town of Gurumbat. This quiet town is where they have a beautiful piece of art inside the Uniting Church named Sophia by Simon White, as well as these spectacular silos featuring Clydesdale and a barking owl. After some time in Gurumbat, we then made our way to the silo art installations in Devonish by Cam Scale, depicting a World War I nurse and a modern female military medic in the Australian Armed Forces. Then we hopped over to St James, home to the first store opened by G.J. Coles, who was later the founder of the Coles Empire, where the silo art depicts his beginnings. And the last stop on the silo art trail was at Tunmagar for some champagne and to look at the silos, as well as a bit of a treat for us rail fans, with a Melbourne-bound Oakland's grain slowly making its way through the town. In addition to visiting the silo art installations, the tour did include a number of heritage hotel visitation opportunities to refresh ourselves. After completing the silo art tour, the coaches returned us to Kattegat, where we enjoyed a dinner in a quintessential country pub, the Clydesdale Hotel, before rejoining the train, which had run empty from Shepparton during the afternoon, which did make for an interesting embarkment, where we reboarded the train via the South Australian Railways carriage Loanna at the level crossing, and was then off to Tocumwal for the night. So here we are, day 2, or I guess day 3, in Tocumwal, New South Wales. Last night we stayed here overnight, and it was great. Nice, easy sleep. I slept really, really well, and it's now just a bit past 8 in the morning. We've had breakfast, and now I'm just gonna go for a quick walk around the town. Later on, we're gonna go on a bus, and we're gonna go out to the Murray Farm Gate, which should be interesting. So yeah, excellent tour so far. Once we finish with the Farmgate tour, we're going to go back to Melbourne, and it should be a nice quick trip. Well, we'll get back sometime this evening, but yeah, really, really great. But yeah, it's really foggy around this morning, so I'm gonna get some photos around Tocumwal, and I'll have a little chat about a quick history of the Tocumwal railway station, because it's pretty fascinating. Tocumwal is in New South Wales, about 250 kilometres from Melbourne and just over the border. Now, Tocumwal hasn't seen a passenger service since 1975 from the Victorian side, and the last standard gauge rail motor service from Narrandera ended in 1983, and then closed to all traffic in 1987. Now, this was a break of gauge terminus, although regular freight trains do still visit the town. There is also a little museum in the station, which you can keep up to date with on Facebook. The foggy morning saw me get a chance to explore the former railway yard and town, which I have to assume in its heyday was very impressive, with 2 large railway yards, silos and more, even an airport link to the Tocumwal airport, something that Melbourne still is yet to have. It was then on the buses to the Murray Farmgate Trail, our first stop being the Big Strawberry, to get morning tea and scones, as well as check out their array of strawberry related products. We then made our way to the award-winning Machino wines. And then finally, on to Cactus Country for lunch. 12 acres of different cactuses, which is a very interesting place to be, well, out there. Once returning to Tocumwal, it was then time to sit back and relax as we made our way back to Melbourne in the afternoon. Now, all the things that I mentioned here are included in your fare: meals, tours, snacks and transfers, everything aside from adult beverages. And if you are keen to do one of these journeys, which I do highly recommend as they are quite a lot of fun, and not just for rail fans, but anyone who's looking for a different kind of weekend, I found myself coming back more relaxed from this tour than others. Now on to prices. Now, the price of this tour, if you were to stay in a land car like I did, would cost you $1,095, with other sleeping options outlined here. And if you are keen to see what a trip's like in a wooden-bodied carriage, you can check out my video here from the Sea Lake tour earlier this year. 707 Operations have a number of these slow tours coming up soon. There are also discounts available if you are a 707 Operations member, and all the details for them will be linked in the description below. So if you're keen on one of these trips, or perhaps you've even been on one, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on another trip really, really soon. Hooroo!